Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
You deserve better. You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train beside vaccinated people. We need to be strong in the decisions we're taking going forward, and we need to put people first, which we have always done. And I'll be honest, you know, like I do, there's lots of people out there who don't agree with that. And the reality is, that's okay. We're in a democracy. People can make themselves heard.
Justin, sir, one question, please, Justin. One question for independent journalists. Justin, will you answer one question for independent journalists? Adam Sos here for Rebel News, and after a great deal of effort, we finally managed to find this Justin Trudeau event in Calgary. He can't be bothered to stop in this city for more than a few hours, and when he does, it's a secretive event. So we have been racing across the city trying to find this location, and we finally made it here. There's a very limited crowd here. They're all standing in their own little circles and isolated pods. Justin has arrived, and for a few minutes, he spoke to a crowd. We'll certainly share that speech with you. He's now going from circle to circle, chatting with the people who are so lucky to be granted access. Other media outlets were allowed in. When we walked up, we were told that we had to leave. Oh, do you like independent press gallery accreditation?
What's that? Sorry, you guys can't come in because you're not accredited by the Liberal Party.
Okay.
It's invite only.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we do that? We've asked several times and no one seems to respond. In the green? Okay, cool.
Hi guys. You guys are with
Rebel News.
Okay, so we actually don't allow Rebel News into our events. Okay. So public property goes up to the road over there. We've rented this space, so basically we're gonna ask that you guys just stay back on the road.
Okay, is there a reason? Like, we're more than happy to nicely ask questions like everybody else.
Well, it's just you guys, that's not been the case.
I mean,
So we have very strict COVID protocols, so we've given out wristbands for the number of people who are there.
Okay.
So unfortunately you can't go in there, but I have a compromise for you guys. If you guys are willing to wear masks, you can go in our overflow area, which is on the patch of grass there.
Unfortunately, they've adopted this narrative that only state-funded media should have access to this, which is ridiculous. It's a clear conflict of interest and something that should not occur. Independent media needs to be able to ask questions to politicians, and that's what we're going to continue to fight to do.
And quite frankly, here in Alberta, I know you see what happens when conservatives make decisions that aren't based on science, that aren't based on the best interests of the most vulnerable. Across the country now know is the only way to move forward with good jobs, with strong careers, with opportunities for future generations, is to think about how we're going to move forward and fight climate change at the same time. That's what you need to do. You deserve better. You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train beside vaccinated people. We need to be strong in the decisions we're taking going forward, and we need to put people first, which we have always done. And I'll be honest, you know, like I do, there's lots of people out there who don't agree with that. And the reality is, that's okay. We're in a democracy. People can make themselves heard.
Justin Trudeau is continuing to meet and greet folks out here at the event. There's a large barricade. They've basically made a human wall of people, so no one has a chance to ask questions. There's also no availability for media for questions, not just us, but any media at all. So as one stop in Calgary, typically Justin Trudeau is just not answering questions, so typical of him.
We're in a democracy. People can make themselves heard.
Justin, sir, one question, please, Justin. One question for independent journalists. Justin, will you answer one question for independent journalists?
Yeah!
The event wrapped up, as always. Justin Trudeau's security entourage made sure to keep us far enough away that we couldn't ask any questions. Oddly enough, though, a number of people, we're not sure if they worked for the campaign specifically, but they're intentionally interfering with our efforts to film and ask questions. So a little bit of drama. We weren't able to ask a question. They simply are not answering any questions. It's uncharacteristic. They kept this event hidden, and they're not doing media availability. Usually campaigning is an opportunity to answer questions, but something has shifted in the political landscape in this country, and it's extremely unfortunate. We're going to continue to follow this election independently. We are not bought and paid for, so we can tell you the other side of the story and bring you fair and impartial coverage of this election. We're going to do so with great effort and at all the campaign stops that we can possibly get to, but we need your help to do that, and we need your help to bring real journalism to the people. So go to realreporters.ca if you're able to help. And again, thank you for tuning in. For Rebel News, I'm Adam Sos. Hey, there's two buses behind me here. One is for Justin Trudeau and his friends, and the other bus is for his other friends, the paid and bought for media. We don't get that sort of luxury treatment. We count on your support to get out here and tell the other side of the story and cover these elections impartially. If you want to help, go to realreporters.ca.